Hello everyone and welcome to online English class. This is level 2, lesson 11, which starts on May the 11th. And this is part 1, so this is video number 1. In this video, we are going to do the warm-up, we're going to review measurements, and then we're going to review Unit 8, Lesson B, and Lesson C. You are probably watching this video between May 11th and May 24th. This video was filmed on May 7th, 2020. So let's start with the warm-up. Today is Thursday? I think today's Thursday. Every day is the same now. Let's see, today is Thursday, okay. The date is May 7th, 2020. So the month is May, the date is the 7th, and the year is 2020. Now let's look at the weather. So this is the weather for today. Today is Thursday, it is 6 p.m. So it is 6 in the evening. Right now, the weather is sunny and the temperature is 67 degrees. Let's look at the temperature range. You can find the temperature range at the bottom with the weekly forecast, the daily forecast. So, the low temperature for today is 47 degrees, and the high temperature for today is 68 degrees. So today, the weather is sunny. The temperature range is from... So with the temperature, we always say the low number first. The temperature range is from 47 to 68 degrees. The temperature range is from 47 to 68 degrees. Right now, the temperature is 67 degrees. Right now, the temperature is 67 degrees. It feels mild. Now let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, to be, when we use to be for yesterday, we use the past tense. So we say yesterday, the weather was cloudy. I'm going to say the weather was cloudy and windy because it was cloudy and windy yesterday. Tomorrow, when we use to be in the future, we say tomorrow the weather will be. Tomorrow the weather will be, well, let's see. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. So it says rain for tomorrow, rain for Friday. So tomorrow the weather will be rainy. All right, now I want you to look at your measurements notes. You can find the measurements notes in your class. In week 5, under lesson 9, look for the words measurements notes. Alrighty. So let's see. First, let's talk about measure and measurement. Measure is a verb. When we measure something, it's an action. So we count something is to measure something, to count something. So I measure a spoon with a ruler. Measurement is a noun, it's a thing. The measurement is always a number that goes with a unit. So it could be a measurement of weight, it can be a measurement of length, or it can be a measurement of temperature. So let's start with weight. The units for weight are ounce, pound, and ton. Ounce is the smallest unit, and ton is the biggest unit. Pound is the unit we use the most. It is the most common unit. We use pound a lot. We use pound for everything. When we measure our weight, we use pounds. When we measure anything medium size, we use pounds. If we measure a book, or if we measure groceries like apples or oranges, we use a pound. The pound is the most common unit of weight. The pound is the most common unit of weight. Now, weigh and weight. I know a lot of you have questions about these two words. Weigh is a verb. It's always a verb. Weight is a noun. It's always an object. The weight is always a number. The weight is always a number, and it tells you how heavy something is. Weigh is an action. So weigh is we measure how heavy something is. So we can say, I weigh a bag of apples. Or we can use the word weigh to replace to be. So we can say, the apples are 3 pounds. Or we can say, the apples weigh 3 pounds. We use weigh to replace the word to be. So here it's replacing the word are. We can say the apples are 3 pounds, or we can just say the apples weigh 3 pounds. The word pounds is over here. I ran out of space. The word weight. The weight is always a number. So the example is, the weight is 3 pounds. The weight of the apples is 3 pounds. Here, the weight is an object. It's a measurement of pounds. Up next, we have length. The units for length are inch, foot, yard, and mile. So, as you know by now, 1 foot has 12 inches, 1 yard has 3 feet, and the mile is not important. Nobody can count a mile. So, up next we have dimensions. So, the dimensions are length, width, and height. These are always the dimensions of an object. Any object always has the length, the width, and the height. The length is how long something is one way, and the width is how long it is the other way. So I have something small you can look at is this box. So this way can be the length, or this way can be the length. It's okay, it doesn't matter. But if this way is the length, then this way has to be the width. Or if this way is the length, then this way has to be the width. You can change it, it doesn't matter. But the height is always up and down. So this is the height here, this way, up and down. How high it is the height. These are the dimensions of the box. So let's see. Let's call this the length. The length of this box is about 5 inches. It's about 4 or 5 inches. The width is 3 inches. And the height going up is 1 inch. Those are the dimensions of this box. It's a box of cards. The distance. The distance is a measurement of how far two things are away from each other. We usually measure distance in feet or miles. So I can say the window is 5 feet away from me. It's 5 feet away. Or the grocery store is 3 miles away from me. And finally, we have temperature. In the United States, we use degrees Fahrenheit. You don't need to spell this word, you just need to write the letter F. Or you can just write degrees, because everyone uses Fahrenheit. But it's just the letter F. Watch. If you look at the weather, it just says 63, and then you see the little circle. The little circle means degrees. This little circle here is the symbol for degrees. And then F. So 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Is it 63 or 68? 63. Oh, this is Friday, okay. And then some important temperatures. 32 degrees is when water freezes to ice. 97 to 98 degrees around here is normal body temperature. What's it called when you have a high body temperature? What's the word for when you have a high body temperature? The word is fever. I have a fever. And how do you measure a fever? With a thermometer. Okay, so let's review lesson B, which is on page 98. In lesson B, we learned what and where questions in the past tense. So, when we want to ask about locations, we use the word where. When we want to talk about actions, we use the word what. And remember, with locations, which are in pink here, there's always prepositions. Prepositions are words we use to tell locations. So the word at, on, in, from, in, on, to, from, at. These words I circle here are prepositions. They are words that tell you the locations of things. So you remember when we say things like, the apples are on the shelf, or the cookies are above the milk. Those words are prepositions. They tell you the location of an object. So if you see these words, then you know we are talking about a location. So I am going to review your homework from last week. So in your workbook, page 92, I'm going to do this part with you. So if I see location words, or prepositions, I'm going to write them in pink. And when I see actions, I'm going to mark them in green. All right, so let's start with number 1. What did you do last night? I worked the night shift. So because the answer is about an action, we're using the word what in the question. Number 2, blank, did you go after work? Here we're talking about go. I'm actually going to, okay, so I went out for breakfast. I'm actually going to mark the word go as pink. It's a little confusing, but we actually use where. If the question has the word go, we use the word where. Where did you go after work? I went out for breakfast. Number 3, blank did Max do after breakfast? We have a do question. He took the bus to school. I'm just going to mark the location word here, to school. But because the question has the word do, then we know it's talking about an action. So we use the word what. What did Max do after breakfast? He took the bus to school. Blank did Sheila do at work this morning? She made the bed with new linens. These are actions. So we say what? What did Sheila do this morning? What did Sheila do at work this morning? Number 5, blank did you and your family eat dinner last night? We ate dinner at Tony's Pizzeria. This one's a little tricky because the answer is actually where. Where did you and your family eat dinner last night? We ate at Tony's Pizzeria. We know to use the word where because the answer has at. The sentence is talking about a location. We ate dinner at Tony's Pizzeria. Because we already know your family is eating, so the answer is not about eating. So we say, where did your family eat dinner last night? We want to know the location of where your family ate dinner last night. We ate dinner at Tony's Pizzeria. I know number 5 is hard. It's a little confusing. Number 6, blank did Sheila and Max do last weekend? Here we have the word do. Okay, they went to the park. Do. We're talking about an action, so we say what? What did Sheila and Max do last weekend? They went to the park for our picnic. Number 7, blank did you do after the concert? Again, the word do. We went for coffee. Who says we went for coffee? Nobody says that. Well, anyways, what did you do after the concert? We went for coffee. Number 8, blank did Max go last Sunday? He went to the baseball game. Because the question has the word go, we know the question is asking about a location. So we say, where did Max go last Sunday? He went to the baseball game. Okay, now let's review Lesson C. Lesson C is on page 100 in your student book. Lesson C, we're talking about the words or. No, we're talking about the words and, or, and but. We use the word and when we're talking about two similar things, two similar sentences. So we can say, I work on Saturdays, I also work on Sundays. A word that helps you is the word also. If you see also, you probably use the word and to connect them. So we can say, I work on Saturdays and Sundays. The word or. The word or is when you put two things together, but you only need one. So here we say sometimes he works on Saturdays, sometimes he works on Sundays. But only one, only Saturdays or only Sundays. So we say he works on Saturdays or Sundays. Only one day. So if he works on Saturdays, he does not work on Sundays. If he does work on Sundays, he does not work on Saturdays. And then we have the word but. We use the word but for putting two different sentences together, two different ideas. So usually a yes and a no. For example, she works on Saturdays. She doesn't work on Sundays. So yes, she works on Sundays. No, she doesn't work on Sundays. So we use the word but. She works on Saturdays, but she doesn't work on Sundays. This is pretty easy, right? But or is a little confusing. It's a little confusing when to use this one. So let's do a homework for it in your workbook. Page 94. Page 94, I want to do this part with you. At the top, complete the sentences, use and, or but, okay? Number 1, Mateo has 2 jobs. He works in a restaurant and in an office, okay? So he has 2 jobs. One job is at the restaurant and one job is at the office. So we say and. Number 2, we can have lunch at Subs blank at Carl's. Okay, so these are the names of restaurants. These are two different restaurants. But because we are going to have lunch, I'm going to say or. So now we only choose one. We choose Subs or we choose Carl's. But I also really like eating a lot, so I'm going to say and. Because, I don't know, maybe I want to eat lunch 2 times. I eat lunch 2 times. So I want lunch at Subs and at Carl's. Or maybe I'm just not that hungry today and I only want to eat lunch 1 time. So we can have lunch at Subs or Carl's. This one or this one. Only choose one, we use or. Or maybe we want to eat a lot of food. So I want to go to Subs and Carl's today. I want to go to 2 places today. Then I use and. So there's 2 answers here. You can pick or you can pick and. 3. Nguyen talked to his mother about his job plans. Blank, he didn't talk to his father. Okay, so here we have he didn't talk. And here we have talked. So yes, he talked to his mother. No, he didn't talk to his father. Because this is yes and no, we're going to use the word but. Nguyen talked to his mother about his job plans, but he didn't talk to his father. 4. After work, Lourdes had cake, blank, ice cream. I'm going to say and here because this is in the past and there's no reason. Well, because it's in the past, you don't need to choose because it already happened. So you only need to say what actually happened. So I'm going to say she had cake and ice cream because it already happened. So you're not choosing to. It's saying that she had to. 5. Mandy and Paco went to New York. Blank, they didn't see the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so here we have they didn't see. That's a no. But here we have they went to New York. That's a yes. Because we're putting a yes and a no together, they're 2 different sentences. I'm going to use the word but. Mandy and Paco went to New York, but they didn't see the Statue of Liberty. 6. Ivan works the day shift, blank the night shift. He never works both shifts. He never works both shifts. So if he never works both means 2. If he never works 2 shifts, that means he only works 1 shift. So the day shift, the night shift, he only works 1. It can be this one and it can be this one. So I'm going to use the word or because only one of these is true. Maybe he works the day shift sometimes or maybe he works the night shift sometimes, but only one. So I'm going to say or. He works the day shift or the night shift. 7. Sally works at the hospital during the week, blank at Pizza Town on the weekend. What? Oh, okay. Sally works at the hospital during the week at Pizza Town. That's a restaurant. So she works at 2 places. During the week, she works at the hospital, and during the weekend, she works at Pizza Town. She works at 2 places. These are 2 similar things, so I'm going to use the word and. Sally works at the hospital during the week and at Pizza Town on the weekend. Number 8. At work, Ang answers the phone, blank takes messages. Well, I hope you're doing 2 things, because I'm going to say and. Ang answers the phone, takes messages. 2 things that are similar, yes and yes. So we use and.